So hi guys, welcome to Ustream. If you want to call me, then send me a message on Skype, and my Skype is LisaCairns12. You can also send me messages on Skype as well. I can't guarantee that I will get through everyone and that I'll be able to speak to everyone, but I should pick the people that I like best and I think are more likely to get enlightened, and I will speak to those people. So if you don't get picked, it means that you're obviously not liked and you're not going to get enlightened. But better have a hard truth than pretend. Now you do Ustreams every Wednesday at 8 p.m. French time and every Sunday 6 p.m. French time. And you can find the Ustream channel on my website. You just see a big U, which is blue, and you just click on that and it will take you to the channel, or you can go to the Ustream page and it's embedded in that page. You can just watch from there. If you want to come to one of my events, I shall just read them out to you now. Events. Okay, so there's a 14-day intensive retreat in southern Spain, which is October the 18th to November the 1st. That's in Granada, Spain. It's a really beautiful place. I went there in February, and it's really beautiful on a mountain side with spectacular views from almost every place. And I think it will be quite nice weather at that time of year, like about 25 every day. So weekend talks in Milan, Friday, December 2nd to Sunday, December 4th. It's just weekend talks. And then I'll be doing talks in India from Friday, December 30th to Friday, the 20th of Jan. So hi Jason, hi Andrea. Hi Jessie, I said hello to Jessie. Hi Susan, hi Shannon. It's never going to work trying to be enlightened or trying to get to enlightenment. This is never going to give you anything. This is going to give you frustration and heartache, like trying to seek for a lover and trying to maintain a lover. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. The separate person, the imagination of yourself, who you think you are, keeps trying to get to somewhere else. Keeps trying to escape what it's feeling, but what it's feeling is what it's feeling, and that's got to be there until it passes. And it will pass when it's ready to pass. But that person pedals and pedals and tries to get rid of it and is afraid of it and feels sick by those feelings sometimes. Desperate to get out of the mundane, desperate to find something in this world where it feels like it can connect. But connection is. Connection is the nature of all things. Connection is what's happening. Did I learn any Romanian? Mercy. They say mercy. Hey Julia, Jessie. Oh, I love you guys. Oh, I didn't see this video of you, Jessie. I've never seen it. So Shannon asks, hi Lisa, I feel depressed lately. Is there anything I can do? Well, if we put liberation aside, as a separate person, if you feel depressed, there's lots of things that you could do in order to stimulate serotonin. There's alternative medicines, there's foods you could eat, exercise, company, socialization, lots of different things to encourage that. But often when people get interested in non-duality, the reason they feel depressed is because they no longer can find anything in life anymore which is making them feel complete. So there's not anything that they can imagine, like playing basketball or traveling the world, that gives them the sensation of completion. And without that carrot dangling in front of them, then people can often feel lost in this world, like they have nothing to live for. Whereas when they have this sense that there is something in the flow of life that will complete you, you work towards the future and you're working towards something and you feel part of a community, you feel like you have importance, you feel like you have meaning, which on one side is a positive thing for the separate person. But often in waking up, you get to the point where there is nothing which touches you like that anymore. And when everybody else is working on that dimension of seeking for something which they believe will complete them, then you can feel really left out and like there's something wrong with you. And sometimes this is when non-duality appears, is when you feel fed up with the pursuit of happiness, then you begin to seek outside of that box. But also if you feel depressed, as a separate person, there are things you can do to improve that. But the other reason why you might feel depressed is because everything which you believed was it, you are no longer believing is it. And then what is it that remains? What is it that's left? So there's an appearance of a person which is seeking for something else and seeking for something better and always trying to move into the future. And then it begins to get the sense that that's not it. But what is it that's there in both situations? What else is there? There's something here that's so free and boundless, in which everything's appearing in, and that's who's truly experiencing life. And when that energy moves from being a separate energy to that non-located experiencer, then there's a freedom there. There's not a freedom in the personal world. It's not like the person gets to continuous bliss or a continuous experience, but there's freedom from that person that always felt like it needed meaning and needed something in time in order to satisfy it. Okay, thanks Sharon. Oh, Shannon, sorry, not Sharon. Hi Susan. Hello Lisa, this is your new home in France, exciting. Yes. Lisa, what is the point to anything? Nothing gets you. It's so funny. It always works like that talks have a particular theme. Like somebody that comes to talk might bring a particular theme, and then everybody asks the same sort of questions. It's really funny how that works. What is the point to anything? Nothing gets you anywhere. I think there was some mistake. I was sent to the wrong planet. These humans were not designed properly. I'm partially joking. I just don't get this world. What's happening is grim. Not always the outer world, but the inner world. Not much joy or contentment here. Much love. Well, Susan, as you might have realised, everything comes and goes. So what you feel now might not be what you feel in a couple of hours. But when you feel that, then your whole reality becomes that, because time is only appearing now. Time isn't something actual, isn't an actual thing that exists. Time is dependent on your state of mind, your feelings, your energy, who you're in contact with. And then time will appear dependent on all those things. So if you feel depressed now, then when you look at your apparent life, everything that you see will be depressed, everything will be grim. And then when that energy begins to relieve or open up, then everything you see will be beautiful and divine and like magic. The problem that happens is we always get stuck in what we're experiencing now, and we believe that to be a truth. We believe that what we think now, what we feel now, is some form of truth, which it isn't. It isn't. But we're addicted to the story of ourselves. We're addicted to the chemicals that are produced by maintaining illusion of us in time. But you constantly have to recreate that illusion of yourself. You aren't anything. There is just this happening. But then it keeps recreating, oh, this is grim, there's not much happiness there. But who? Who are you? This person that keeps insisting it exists doesn't exist. It's not real. It is not real. It is not real. So you tell these stories as if you know what you're talking about, but how do you know that? Who is that person that believes it knows its life? There is only presence, and presence isn't in movement. It's still. It's observing all of this indifferently, without any perspective. And then this person comes up and is constantly changing its perspective depending on the feelings and the emotions. I like this, I don't like this, this is grim. What is grim right now? There is only grimness in time, and time's not a reality. You're not here because of time. Time is appearing here. So it comes up and there's a sort of force to it. But you can't stop it because even the you that's trying to stop it doesn't exist. So that it keeps coming up and insisting that this story is true. Well, you do feel like a separate person, even though you don't have free will. This is such a contradiction, but it feels like you have free will. What you can do is explore the emotion underneath that, and the emotion will be one of two, fear or lack. So you're feeling afraid and lack, and then there's this grim energy of feeling out of place and like things aren't right. And while that person feels separate, it feels like it can move its awareness, its attention onto those feelings. And then there's something that knows that person that's doing it. And that knower is the producer of everything, but it's not consciously producing. It produces a person that feels like it can move its attention, but isn't actually moving its attention. It feels like it can. And there's a grimness, there's a stuckness, and that will change. But then the mind comes up with it's because of my boyfriend, or it's because of my friends, or it's because I can't get enlightened, or because of this reason, or because of this energy, or this person. But all of those are trying to get rid of the feeling. It's just a feeling of grimness, of death, of stuckness. It will pass like everything else, but I always feel depressed. That's just a thought, that's not true. We get so stuck in the thoughts of ourselves. It's a coming and a going. Hey, presents. Sorry. Hey, Kevin. Hey. Oh, Alexi. Okay, hello, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Hi, Macog. Hi, Lisa. Macogs. Sorry, not Macog. Macogs. Hi, Lisa. Can you talk a little about attending to the sense of I am? Attending? Sometimes it seems so clear and simple, and other times I can't seem to get sense of it. When it happens effortlessly, it shifts really quickly and profoundly. I don't know what you mean by attending the sense of I am. That sounds like attending a garden, like watering a garden. I'm going to attend the sense of I am. Or maybe putting attention on the sense of I am. Yeah, I am. But that person feels separate. It can put its attention on I am. So that sense of being alive. And then you think, Lisa, but will this get me enlightened? Will this get me closer to the source? But yet that is an activity that somebody's doing, and it's appearing in presence. Even the attending the sense of I am. Yes, but will this get me further to enlightenment? Who? Who will it get further to enlightenment? If there's a sensation of wanting to attend the I am, and it feels nice, then why not? It's ultimately not you that's moving the attention to the I am. That's appearing in presence. There is somebody that moves it to the I am, and the I am isn't even presence. The I am must be a manifestation because you can see it. So that's a form that's appearing and coming and going. But by doing it, it might relax the person, and that's a beautiful thing, and it might have a profound shift. But what the mind likes to do, always likes to do, is how is this benefiting me? What is this giving me? But there is no you. Who is this you that thinks that it's attending the sense of I am? There is an energy coming up of you, and there's a sense of I am, and that you is putting its attention on I am, but that you is an ever-changing thing that's appearing and is known by something grander and bigger. Something knows that you that's putting the attention on I am. Something knows that I am. What is that? This is totally mysterious, and this isn't anything for you. Me, 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 me. It's like those seagulls from Finding Nemo. I think they're always like me, 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 trying to get the bread. Who? 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 I'm going to get enlightened so I can be better than my neighbour. If I get enlightened, then I will be important. I will be lovable. Somebody will love me for that. Who is this you that's appearing? There is a stillness that is everything, that is in movement, that a presence. But you as a separate entity, as a thought, as an idea, as any form, cannot see that presence, but yet that presence is. And then the clouds begin to pass and the light shines through. It's like light in a film. So you know the old-fashioned films, I'm not sure how they do it, but the old-fashioned films used to be light projected through pictures, and then the pictures would move really fast, and then on the screen it gives appearance of a whole film and time and dimensions. And it's like the characters in the film asking what they're made of, and then the guru in the film says, oh, you're made of light. This is a movie made of light. It's stillness appearing to be movement. And really who you truly are is this light. And that character cannot see the light because the person in time can only see form. But yet, all there is everywhere is that light. It makes everything. It's the whole entire universe in that film. Just like here. You could call consciousness, I say consciousness or presence. Even consciousness really is a form, but, well, just words. But if you, the light is here, this energy of everything. It is everything. It is my face, it's the computer, it's the sounds. It's the wall, the radiator, it is everything. There's nothing that isn't it. There it is. Me, what does this give me? But just think about the character in the film. That character cannot see it. The character is designed to see form. Imagine if the character in the film just suddenly saw the light of the projector. It popped its head out of the film and then saw the light beaming from the projector onto the screen. It popped it out and looked. But it can't. Well, it's in the film. But yet everywhere it goes, everywhere it looks is that. And that's what this is. It's amazing. It's so funny doing a talk here by yourself because I crack all these really funny jokes and then there's no one here to laugh. So it's like your joke bombs all the time. Could be that the jokes just aren't funny. Hi, Marianne. Hi, Andrea. Oh, hi, Petter. Hi, Kate. Hi, Mark. Hi, Lisa. I'm depressed too right now. So much so that I did not think listening to you could help, but it's helping. Thanks. Well, you feel like you're depressed, you can just move the attention to that sensation of depression. So wherever you feel it, if you feel it in your stomach or your neck, it will be in one of the chakra areas, that feeling of depression. And it will come with thoughts like life is hopeless, life is pointless. And this is the opposite to what everyone lives by. So other people live by life has point, life has meaning, I want things, I have point, I'm going to get there. But when you're depressed, you feel like it's pointless, it's meaningless, I'm never going to get there. And we feel too afraid to admit these things. But where you put your attention there, you can just admit them. This is hopeless, I hate life, I don't want to be here, I hate God, I hate other people, all of it hurts. This is the opposite to the positive. So you've been seeking your whole life with the positive and you've been getting the highs from I'm successful, I'm going to get there, and now it's gone to the negative. Neither of these two are true. Sometimes when people identify with non-duality, they become depressed because they try not to seek, or they try not to be a seeker, which then leads them to be depressed. Because while you're a seeker, and if you try not to seek, then it's just going to hurt you. So there's nothing to be afraid of. There is this depression, and then there's a separate you that's afraid of this feeling of depression. But there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just arising, all appearing in this presence, which is containing all. God holds everything, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly. And notice that you, the separate you, really wants to reject what it's feeling. It will do anything to get out of it. Blame other people, blame itself, listen to Ustream, whatever it can to get out of it. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't do anything. The chakra points of depression, I presume, would be the heart and the solar plexus. It's feeling out of control of your life, not in control, and then not loved and lack. So you say, I feel I have to protect and comfort all sentient beings in the entire universe. The fact that this is, of course, completely impossible is no excuse for not doing it. And not being able to do it gives me pangs of excruciating pain and anguish. Mark? That really sounds like a big ego delusion, to feel like you have to comfort and protect all sentient beings. What are you, God? Of course you're God as everything, but as a separate person. That you have to do that. Who is this you that would have to do that? It might be what happens. It might be what happens through the Mark instrument, but it's not Mark's job. For Mark to do that, that would be anguish and heartache and suffering. What a pressure to put on to Mark. And then also, what a big ego trip as well. To believe that you have the power to do that as a separate person. As life, yes, but not as a person. As wholeness, yes, but not as a person. When you're separate, often you do that in order to heal yourself. You're doing that to heal your sense of lack of control over life and over suffering. So then you begin to believe that you control others. So just feel that now. When I say that, feel that in the different areas of the body. It's okay. That might have been painful to hear, but just let it go through the body. So consciousness is just a form, so why should I direct my attention to it? Well, again, this is another ego thing, because how could you direct your attention to consciousness? How would you be able to do that? You is appearing in consciousness. The you can't look back at consciousness. How could you do? What you see is form, but ultimately consciousness comes with form. So even in Buddhism, they say that consciousness too is form. The true source of everything is not something that's found in this world. And you can't really find consciousness in this world, but yet it's conscious. So consciousness is like the first manifestation that happens, but it's sometimes easier to talk about because all the other teachers do, and it's way easier than to say not a thing all the time. So that one that wants to direct its attention to it is appearing in that, is appearing in presence, is appearing in awakeness. You as a person can never look at it. You can't direct your attention to it. You can direct your attention to separate awareness, like people, like the separate person's awareness, attention. So the person can direct its attention to its attention, but that's not consciousness. So you could say, I'm present, and try and be in the present moment, but that's the limited person's perspective. And then that's known. All of that is known. All of that is appearing in this. Just like the music is, just like the room is, just like the light is. Hey Ron. Hi Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey. Oh. Yeah, I don't think your internet's good enough. Hello?
No, it's not.
Where are you?
Pardon?
I don't think your internet is good enough.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not Sam. Hello? Hello? Hello, Sam.
Oh, hi, yeah. My internet's not very good at all today.
No, it's not. It's okay.
Turn up. How about now? Can you hear me alright?
It's okay, but it's like it's breaking out as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, probably because there's a couple of people on the internet.
Yeah.
Is it good enough to talk or not really?
Yeah, I think so. Let's try.
Okay, nice.
How are you doing, Sam?
Yeah, I'm alright, thanks. Still sort of in like work mode, if you know what I mean. I just got back a little while ago.
Yeah.
Had quite a busy day. It got me thinking, but yeah, I'm alright. But how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. A little still recovering. I did a lot of travel in the last 2 days, 3 days. I can't remember how many days. 4 days. I went from Romania to England, then England to Paris, and then Paris to south of France, all in like 2 days. It was like non-stop travel.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of travel, yeah.
Especially when you're driving. I didn't drive from Romania, but I drove down to the south of France. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. I've heard Romania's really nice, actually.
Yeah, it is nice. It's quite poor. Very nice. Very pretty.
Yeah. Was it like a rural place you went to?
Yeah, so there was lots of forest around, and they had this salt pool. So there's lots of salt in the mountain. I'm not sure why, and they dig it out, and then they make this swimming pool out of it. So it's like so salty that you float. You can't really swim underneath it. It's like the Dead Sea. It's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Was it like those warm pools near volcanoes or something?
There were those, but we didn't go to any. But it was quite a warm pool, but it was so hot there that you wanted actually just coolness. It was very hot.
Yeah, okay. Someone said it's actually gonna. Oh no, do you live in France at the moment then?
Yeah, the south of France.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's hot there. England's meant to be getting hot next week, but they always say that, don't they?
Yeah. My mum always tells me it's hot when I'm not there, but I don't believe her.
Yeah. Yeah, every now and then. Yeah, actually, I was going to ask you when I was at work today, it kind of something like I don't know really if it's got that much to do with non-duality or not, but I don't know. I'm hoping you're alright to talk about it.
Okay, we can try.
Yeah. Well, for starters, I started to read your book again and stuff, so I know and I only just at the beginning, and so it's probably I don't know. I don't know, but obviously something that my sort of working with like people with learning difficulties and mental health problems, you obviously know something about it from your book as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just kind of today made me think a bit like the whole system that I'm working in and stuff. I really started to question it a bit. Like there's this one particular patient we've got, and like this morning he ended up getting like into some trouble. He set the fire alarm off, and people were seeing him as coming across as really aggressive and stuff. But like just before I finished today, I managed to have a chat with him, and he kind of was saying to me that he needed like physical contact, and he hasn't got any physical contact. The only thing we're allowed to really do at this hospital with the patients is give them a fist bump, which isn't even quite a handshake sort of thing. And it made me think, oh yeah, and he was basically just this guy asking me for a hug. And it's the kind of thing which obviously, when you're human, you feel one way about it, but I'm not actually supposed to do that. It's kind of crossing a boundary sort of thing. But in the end, one of the nurses made a joke of saying like, oh, you could give him a hug. And I did give the guy a hug, and other people were saying, no, he'll strangle you, he'll do this. And in the end, he said that it really was like something nice for him, and he felt a lot better. And I thought, how can we keep people in a situation like that where we don't even let them they can't even touch each other, the patients? We have to try and stop that as support workers.
Yeah, it's a really complicated situation. It's so hard, and there's so many different things. And like with the UK, there is a lot of problems in the mental health system. But when I travel abroad in places in Asia and things, I think that it's way better than there. But yeah, it's really sad, these sorts of things. But it's a product of our society. When we live in a separate society, that's part of the product of it, is a non-acceptance of anyone that doesn't conform to what our society needs. And basically what our society wants and needs is people that can work, and people that can maintain the workforce, that believe in society and that get enough pleasure from working and maintain that dynamic of working. We think of our society as like a reality, and we think that the way that we live is the way that humans should live, but it's actually a state of mind. Our society is a reflection of separation, like the way the advertising works, that everything's based around money. It's not. We don't have a society that's based around community or based around supporting each other. We have a society that's based around advertising, working and gaining and believing that that is happiness. Whereas I think that it actually really oppresses people, this whole mentality of constantly working, and that's the most important thing. You are your job, you are your possessions, you are how other people see you in that framework of success. And by that mentality, I think it creates a society of depressed people, but everybody's too scared to step outside of it because that's what you're conditioned to know, is that particular society. So nobody really questions it, and they think that if they're unhappy, it's their own fault and they've done something wrong. And that's why we've had such an increase of people on medication the last 50 years. Like they say in America, the number not America, in Australia, I'm not sure about the rest of the world, the number one medication isn't the pill, which you'd expect it to be the pill, but it's antidepressants. Like it's a huge thing. And the reason that people are so unhappy is because our society is based on a workforce. It's telling us from the age of 4 or 5, we're being asked by adults, what do you want to be when you're older? And basically what they mean by that is, what job do you want to be? And that's who you are. You are your job. So you're a fireman, you're a doctor, you're a street cleaner, you're a shopkeeper. I can't think of all these different jobs. But that is who you are. So we base our society around that. And we believe that our happiness is based in time and by working for it. So we're educated in school that it's all about working for the future. We have to work to pass our exams, to get a good job, to get a good house, to get a good wife or husband, to have kids, to then grow old, and then finally when we're 60 we get to retire, or now it's 70 or 65, 70, and then retire and not work. But our whole life is about working and obtaining things and getting things, and the reason and what we see as success in our society is by having lots of things and having the most sophisticated posh things. We're never taught that happiness is about enjoying the process and it's about enjoying what's actually happening. We're always taught that happiness is the next thing of achievement, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, which is a really sad way to be. And then what happens is that people in our society, not all people can do that. And so the ones that cannot do that, cannot fit into that system, are considered mentally ill and having something wrong with them. And then we medicate those people. We don't see it as a creative expression. We don't see it as, actually, maybe there's something wrong with the way we're conditioning people. We see it as there is something wrong with them. We put all the emphasis on that it's their problem, they're ill, they're bad in a way. We put them into hospitals and we try to fix them to make them a producer to fit into our society. And it is really sad. Like in Native American tribes and in a lot of Amazon tribes, and in the past in Europe, people with what we would call now mental health problems were actually the healers, and were actually the people that predicted what would happen in the past and future, even what we would in our society call witches, which we tried to kill. And that's what we, but because we used to also have 3 genders in Europe. We also used to have a 3rd gender, and our 3rd gender was somebody that was born into a physical male body but felt like a female. Or a female, somebody that was born into a physical female body but felt like a man. So we also had this 3rd gender as well, which we wiped out, which meant that when you were born, if you identified with the female role, then that was totally okay to be that. Like there wasn't an issue with it because we had these 3 genders, and in the 3 genders also came sexuality as well. So if you didn't identify with the sexuality, I don't know exactly how it worked, but I remember studying it at university. So we used to have 3rd genders. So we had 3 genders in European society, which we eventually wiped out. The only society which I don't believe it's wiped out of, and which the rest of the world make fun of, is in Thailand, and that's because Thailand wasn't colonized. So they have like what we call ladyboys, and they have a 3rd gender, but it's really mocked now and taken the mickey out of. And we also used to have these healers, which we then wiped out, calling witches. But those would have been people with something like what we'd call now schizophrenia, because reason why we saw them as healer, because they didn't buy into everybody else's reality. So they questioned all borders. And people saw that as a really beneficial thing. And by questioning all borders, their sense of time and space was different. And they most probably had profound awakenings. Like I used to think with my brother that he had profound awakenings. But in our society, it's completely disregarded and they're taught as bad. And so most people with mental health, what we call mental health issues, have a really low self-esteem because they've been told for so many years that they're ill. Imagine a society. I mean, what sort of society does that to part of the society, tells them they are ill? Like they're ill, they've got broken brains. It's not encouraged and supported. It's said bad and ill. It's such an amazing thing if you spend time with someone that's breaking down what constructive reality. It is also scary because what we tend to do as humans is we look at safety by somebody buying into our reality and by being able to communicate by reality. So somebody that's not buying into our reality scares us because we're not used to it. But it's amazing. So,
yeah, so are you saying that back in sometime in the past, that was all those things like the healers and the 3rd gender was common, and now it's not?
Yeah, and now we label people with these illnesses rather than trying to explore it with them, and
well, that's yeah.
And rather because the reason that people with what we call mental health problems get so messed up is because they're always being told they're bad and wrong. and it's never seen as a creative expression which will help and improve our society. Like lots of people that are like geniuses, or they're really great at something, like great at music, they often are also diagnosed with mental health problems. But the reason, like someone like Van Gogh, but actually if you think about it, they don't really have mental health problems. It's just that their role is to break all barriers, and in breaking all barriers, their sense of reality is going to be different from everybody else's reality, but it's not encouraged. We see it as a bad thing, and then somebody with mental health problems identify with that being a bad thing, and then everybody's scared of them. Like, we're so scared of people with mental health problems because we think that they're going to do something like what happened in Nice. They say that he had mental health problems, or they're going to go around stabbing people. But actually, if you could compare the statistics, my mum used to work on, she was a governor on the mental health board in England. If you compare the statistics, people with mental health problems don't statistically kill more than people that are considered not having mental health problems. That it's not that because they've got schizophrenia or something, they're more likely to kill or hurt you. They don't kill or hurt more than regular population. This is what my mum told me. I don't know that. This is from my mum's mouth, but she went on lots of training courses. It's just that it's got such a bad stigma. We have an idea that anyone that has issues will harm us, or has a different perspective on reality. But it's become like sensationalized in film and our media. But if you actually look at it, like gangs and things that are happening in London, and poverty creates more murders and killing.
Yeah.
But it does happen with people with mental health issues, that they do also do that. But it does. If you look at it in perspective, it's not. It's not like all people with mental health problems do that sort of thing, if not put on medication or something. But that's the excuse for it in our society. They will harm us.
Yeah, it makes it quite hard to. Well, probably, I don't know. I'm finding it hard to go into work in it at the moment, you know.
Yeah. But it's amazing as well what it will do for you is to see all these different realities, because reality isn't fixed. It's dependent on the way that it's interpreted. So Khaleesi sees a completely different reality from the Lisa body. So consciousness looks through all these different bodies and have completely different experiences. And with somebody with what we call mental health issues, they're seeing such a different world. Like such a different world. It's sad though.
That's why I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, but it's sad also because a lot of the time people with mental health problems end up being very depressed and very negative and very disturbed. I think that's also a product of our society and the way we view it as well. And like so much negativity in our society towards it.
Yeah, but even despite that, there's still a lot of freedom in a lot of the people I work with. That's what, like, I like spending time normally with the patients or the tenants, whatever you want to call these people. Yeah. But it's the problems come from the managers and the staff and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want some, you know what I mean.
Yeah, they're just dictated to by the ones higher than them, and then it keeps on going up because there's also so many, because of the way society's structured. There's so many lawsuits and
Yes, red tape.
Sorry?
Like red tape, is that what they call it? You know, there's so much PC issues and paperwork and risk assessments.
Yeah.
But at the same, I don't know really. It's interesting. That's still crazy to me what you were saying about how society used to be different and everything. It must be, is there a reason that we're now less tolerant and we got rid of all that sort of stuff? Is it because our sense of self got stronger?
Yeah, and the sense of self needs structure and order. It can't take anything that doesn't make sense intellectually. So like healers, like the witches we killed because that didn't fit in with our belief system. It was too much outside the box.
Huh? It was like that now.
Sorry?
I think that'd be interesting. It'd be nice if things were like that now.
Yeah, but we used to, in European society, we used to have like what they have in Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine. We had our whole own like alternative medicine system, but we wiped it all out. That's what the witches
Really?
were. Yeah.
I never knew any of this. They don't teach you this at school, do they?
Well, they taught me at university. When I went to actually a university in America, I could pick anything off the curriculum. So I was studying playwriting, but when I went in America, they said they can pick anything. So I picked this feminist course, and this is where I learned all this stuff. We studied like third genders, and we studied witches, and it was a really cool course. The lady was really amazing, young, like 25-year-old lady, and I just had no idea about this sort of thing. Before that, I wasn't into feminism. I just did it because I was trying to do the most different subjects that I could possibly do. So I did like volleyball, feminism, bike riding, puppet making. I tried to pick the most weirdest things because it was like an opportunity. Like the government was paying for me to go and study in America, and I could study anything. So I was like, okay, I will study anything.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do so good with my. Like, I went to university, started to do a course in architecture, but after the first year, I'd given up.
Oh yeah, my dad always wanted to be an architect. I can imagine it's really creative, but I can imagine studying for it is a real pain. I think it's like a really long course.
Well, I mean, I chose it for all the wrong reasons. I knew the city I wanted to go to for the music scene and everything was Brighton, and then I looked on their website for all the courses and found architecture and looked into it and thought, yeah, I'll try that. Probably not the best. Choose a career, you know.
But were you good at drawing then? Were you good at that? Maths?
No. Maths, yeah. And a lot of the drawing was technical drawing with rulers and stuff. I was never that good at creative freehand drawing, but I could blag the kind of technical drawing, okay.
And if you were good at maths, I suppose that's sort of is. My dad's really good at maths and science.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been quite like gifted with maths, but yeah, I don't know. I think most people can do most things if they put their mind to it, can't they?
Yeah, yeah. My dad ended up being a computer programmer, so he built virtual worlds rather than like real worlds. Like rather than houses, he built programs. So it's a similar type of thing. Yeah, but he fell into that. He also quit university as well. You know, I think he did architecture or science, I think it was. His parents made him do science. He wanted to do architecture, and mechanics was another thing he wanted to do. And both of those things weren't appropriate to my grandparents, so they dictated what he had to do. And then after a year, he quit. But he ended up getting a job in computers and then became a programmer.
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of wish I carried on with it sometimes because once I started the course, I actually was enjoying it. And you know, the career as a career, it's not bad. I think being an architect, it's good money as well. You know.
And you can't go back.
I guess I could, or I could do it something else at uni. But the thing is, at the moment, I'm I'd have to work and study at the same time. So I need to find something that's not really full time.
Yeah.
I mean, or to try and get loans and stuff. Also to keep like. At the minute, I support my son financially, and it costs money to have him and to go and pick him up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it would be harder to study full time, and not, you know, that would be harder. So something like nursing, I could keep working on shifts and nights and stuff, and do that. But actually, this is the last year in England. They're paying for the NHS. They're paying for you to do nursing. So if I'm going to do it, I'd probably better do it. Well, it's probably too late, but I just have to get a student loan out again.
Oh, yeah, my friend did that, actually. She did a degree in philosophy, and then she realised afterwards that she could never really make money from a degree in philosophy or get a career. So the government paid, and she worked to become a mental health nurse. But she worked while doing it, I think.
Yeah, it's really good. I should have got into it by now. I've kind of missed that as well. But something will come up, you know. I don't know.
It will come up at the right moment.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Thanks a lot, Lisa. That was
nice. Pleasure. Yeah, nice talking with you, Sam. It's always nice to speak to you. Thank you.
You too. All right, bye.
Okay, Susan. You know, it's funny, I was typing that when you started reading. So, Susan, I've already replied to. It just seems grim more days than not. How can you know, Susan, that it's grim more days than not? You only know this moment. The only reason your mind is telling you that is not because it's being objective, but because it wants to keep you down. It wants to keep you in that pattern of depression. Not because it's a nasty, bad thing, but because that's what it's familiar and used to. It's used to being negative. I don't laugh much anymore. Those big laughs, like when I was younger, missing that. But I know I'm stuck in the past and out of this moment, stuck in thoughts. I want to be far, far away from all people. People are causing undue stress in my life. Who am I? I'm not this body. I'm not this personality. I'm not this woman with anxiety. Who am I? Light, energy. I love the way you're talking about this today. The manifest that used to be helpful. Misfits that used to be helpful. Hey, Deanna. Hi. Okay. Susan. None of this is true. Your mind is tricking you. It's not even tricking you. There's not someone there that could be tricked. But it's a trick. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's a trick. Lisa, thank you so much for your union. Oh, I don't believe that I have that power to help anyone. I just really, really want to do it. Lisa, thank you so much for your Ustream talks. I find everything you say to be so profoundly true. You've been a big source of optimism over the years. Best of luck in your new apartment. Bonnet, be. Oh, I've forgotten that word. I'm so rubbish at French. Be. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, you really want to. Yeah, I know that feeling. But who is it you really want to help? Who? Who? It's a trick, I can accept that. How do I stop being the negative personality? How to stop it? Who are you, Susan? There has to be an investigation. Who are you? You keep fixating on pleasure and pain, this negative personality that you want to get rid of. Who is it that you believe yourself to be? Who? You don't want it, and you're like, oh, I don't want it, I don't want to be this. And you keep seeing yourself in a timeline, but that's appearing in light, that's appearing in it. That's not the experiencer, that is an experience. It's a booty, okay, you see. Did you ever saw booty? Did your booty hurt? Did your booty hurt? Okay, that's enough for today. Thanks, guys. I'm sorry for those that I didn't speak to. I was joking at the beginning. It's because you're not enlightened enough or whatever I was saying. I was only being a banana. There's about 5 or 6 people that I haven't spoken to. But that's enough now. So I shall see you on Sunday. Thank you.